In this video, we're going to be talking about 5 strange ways your ex actually is showing you that they still love you. These are going to be, again, a little bit unusual, so stick through to the end. This isn't going to be like the usual stuff like, oh yeah, they tell you that they love you and all that stuff. But let's go ahead and get into this. But first though, my name is Clay with modernlove.life, where we help you with the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not, because you, of course, deserve to be loved for the unique, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. And if you agree with me and you want to help me out with this channel, please hit that thumbs up button for the algorithm and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment down below. With that being said, we are going to be talking about communicating with your ex. And one of the best ways that we can help you with that is through our course called Effortless Connection. You can find information on that down below in the description box of this video, but it's there to help you with communication. Anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this. So the first way that your ex might be telling you that they still love you is when they're trying to connect with you in some sort of, meaningful way, especially if there's been some sort of, choppy or dicey past between the two of you, maybe some hurt feelings, maybe some challenges, maybe some difficult arguments or whatever that maybe the two of you have had in the past. And they're, making some sort of effort to connect with you. This is what people might call a repair attempt. At least, I read about that in John Gottman, repair attempts when you try to go and repair a dynamic after things haven't been so great. Weird factoid, by the way. John Gottman's office is in the University of Washington campus. It's in Guthrie Hall. I mean, you can look this up. I actually used to work in the chemistry library when I went to the UW, directly across the street from Guthrie Hall. I was the guy that shelved the books and went through and made sure that they were all in order by their call number and everything. So kind of weird. Didn't know anything about him at the time, but yeah, we may have crossed paths a few times. I don't think he ever went to the chemistry library, but maybe I saw him on the street or something. Anyway, if your ex is trying to connect with you in some sort of meaningful way, especially despite a choppy past, that can be a really helpful sign that they're still, in love with you in some capacity. Sign number 2 is if they're being honest with you. That is to say, they're willing to share what's honestly going on with them and what they're actually thinking. There's so many reasons why after a breakup, your ex might not be honest with you. They might just, try to tell you what they think you want to hear so that you'll go away and leave them alone. Or they might even try to go out of their way to hurt you by intentionally saying things to cause pain to you. That's something else that we might talk about later. But if they're willing to be honest with you and just tell you things straight, then I think that shows that they definitely care about you enough to just, give it to you straight. That's to say they're willing to have uncomfortable conversations with you. They're willing to be transparent with you. They're willing to just tell it to you without having to sugarcoat it, without having to try to, slink out the back door and escape or anything like that. And, believe it or not, that is a sign of love if someone is willing to just be honest with you. So that's definitely an important thing to look for. The third thing is that their actions are indicating that they love you, even when their words might be saying something else. Your ex might be saying lots of things. We'll never get back together. There's too much pain that's done. Stuff like that. And that might be all well and good. But if their body language, their body is telling you different things, maybe the two of you are hugging goodbye and it's a little bit longer than it needs to be. Or, maybe they're kind of like lovingly putting their arm on your shoulder or something in a moment when maybe you need some support, or maybe the two of you are holding hands, or maybe, something else is happening. Like there's one of those long lingering goodbyes at the end of seeing each other where it just seems like they don't want to go anywhere. This is the stuff you should be paying attention to a lot more than the words that are coming out of their mouth, because they could have any number of reasons for saying whatever it is they're going to be saying. I've talked about this a lot in our series on the 5 stages. We have a whole video series on that right up there. Check it out. It kind of explains a lot of your ex's confusing behaviors and unpredictable things that might come up as they're going through this emotional experience. But despite what they might say, again, I don't want you to get caught up on what they might say. So many people do this and they say, oh, my ex said we're never going to get back together, therefore we're never going to get back together. That's what they felt at that time, but that's coming from an emotional place. And if you can shift the emotion, what they're going to say out of their mouth is going to change. What you want to do is you want to pay attention to their actions, their body language, what they're actually doing, okay? And if that's telling you, okay, this is coming from a place of love and affection, then that's probably what they're feeling. If you could just like somehow take a remote control and mute them and mute everything that they're saying, and just pay attention to what they're actually doing with their body, that's going to tell you a lot right there. The fourth sign that your ex might still love you is if they're avoiding things. Now, we did talk about honesty, and that is an important aspect of it, but some people just don't have a direct kind of personality. They don't actually feel comfortable just directly telling things to people. Oftentimes, they might want to be considerate of your feelings, right? That's not to say that they're giving you false hope or that they're stringing you along or anything like that, but they just don't want to hurt your feelings. So, they might be in a relationship with someone new, and for example, they might not bring that up. They might not let you know about that. They might be trying to hide it from you. That could be because they're trying to protect you emotionally. Of course, there could be all sorts of other reasons why they might be doing that as well, too. Maybe the relationship is very young and they don't want to put it out there yet, or, any number of things. But if they're trying to be considerate of your feelings, and if they're trying to avoid bringing up uncomfortable things or things that might make you feel uncomfortable or things that they know might agitate you in the wrong way, then that in itself is also a sign that they do care for you and that they do still love you in a certain capacity. The fifth sign that we're going to be talking about in this video anyway is that they are pulling away emotionally. They're pulling away, maybe giving you space, maybe doing no contact, or they're just kind of walling you out. Now, how could this actually be a sign that they love you? And the truth is that, they might feel guilty about hurting you. They might feel guilty about things that happened during your relationship, things that happened in the past, all sorts of things like that. And so what they might think is like, who am I to go back into this person's life and to risk hurting them all over again? Who am I to go back in there and, reopen that wound in some way? So they just are kind of like giving you some space, being considerate, kind of saying like, okay, I need to give them some time to heal. Maybe someday we can reconnect or something like that. And you're probably going to get a sense that this is what they're doing if you're paying attention to the emotional level anyway. Rather than like, okay, they're just really angry at me and so they're trying to wall me out, or they're just like fed up with, me texting them way too often and they're just trying to like create some distance. You're going to be able to tell the difference between that versus them trying to be considerate of your feelings. You're going to be able to know that. So that's why it's important to not just look at all of this in terms of like, oh, they did this, they did that, they said this, they said that, but to look at the emotional level underneath all of this stuff, okay? So if you're looking at the emotional dynamic and they're pulling away and you could see it kind of fitting within their personality and kind of fitting within the dynamic of what's happening, that they might just be trying to be considerate of your feelings and emotions, then, that could definitely also be a sign of love. And so when it comes to all of this stuff, what you want to do is you want to be able to communicate effectively and to communicate in a straightforward and direct way that's actually conducive to actually creating the kind of relationship that you want. There's so much stuff out there on the internet and so much stuff on YouTube and all these other places that will tell you to play mind games in some capacity or other. Oh yeah, this is all about power and you have to demonstrate that you have more power than they do. So you have to do no contact until they break emotionally under the pressure and come crawling back to you over broken shards of glass, begging to be back together with you. Like I don't know. I guess that somehow fulfills some people's like bizarre fantasies or something. I never really understood that, but people keep saying it, so I'm guessing it's appealing to someone. Rather than that, which is basically a mind game, a power play, or some like weird, reverse psychology thing. What if you just actually brought yourself to the interaction like a actual civilized adult and said like, oh hey, it seems like you feel uncomfortable interacting with me right now. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable talking to me. So is there something we can do to kind of like patch this up, or can you tell me a little bit more about what's going on? Or maybe it's just all in my mind and maybe you just had a really weird day today or something like that. And if you start to actually have conversations like that, you can really bypass a lot of this mind game stuff. You can bring more of yourself genuinely to the interactions, and you can actually create more of that loving, bonding connection, okay? And so if that is something that you do want to learn more about how to do, once again, we do have our course called Effortless Connection. You can find it in the description box below. If it's right for you, feel free to sign up. If it's not right for you, no worries. But I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you do like these videos that we put up, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel and all that good stuff. And if you do want to learn more, once again, about those 5 emotional stages that your ex goes through, please feel free to check out this video series over here. A lot of people have said it's been very helpful for them. Might be for you too as well. And also, please check out this video over here if that's not something that's where you're at, the 5 stages. But anyway, please take care, and I'll talk to you next time.